Good evening, GreenStar member owners and community. I am once again on the road and so must apologize for not being present for this special member meeting. The good news is that I'm on the road doing the work of our co-op. I'm attending the annual meeting of Neighboring Food Co-op Association in Greenfield, Massachusetts. Our principles and values are everywhere, in writing and in our speech. I'd like to talk about what it means to live them out loud. Diversity and inclusion is the very fabric that clothes our cooperative body. That is why we serve a democratic process and why we say that everyone is welcome. It is why we extend one vote to each member. Everything else we do at the cooperative should pay homage to this central theme, because it is through this theme that we honor the truth of cooperation. Having all voices and bodies and cultures and perspectives at our co-ops is something to aspire to and be inspired by. It is also informative. We may experience mindsets, creativity, leadership, and ideas for thriving we might have otherwise missed. It is through diversity and inclusion as our foundation that we can extend our hands in welcome and not leave any believing there is an unspoken parenthetical phrase which follows and says, quote, if you're white, straight, economically well off, or formally educated, etc., end quote. We know this isn't true the way it was in the 60s and 70s. The point is, there are community members who still believe it to be true, who still feel it to be true. We haven't finished the necessary work to change this reality. We must address this through constantly evolving recruiting and hiring practices, education, training and development, and community outreach. When we bring the unheard voices and bodies in, when we have them at the table, we impact their lives. And of clear import, we open the doors to their wisdom and allow ourselves to be impacted as well. For me, the cooperative difference is as much political as it is economic. How do you divorce the two, after all? Our principles and values mean we don't want to be like every other business or grocery store or even progressive organization. We want to walk the walk, walk the talk, because words are never, ever enough. They are the impetus for the vision and the work. I want us to lift each other up, to aspire to greater goals, to live and breathe a creed that places at its very core democratic ideals. We should always plan for and strive for equity, job security, a living wage, great benefits, training and development, and community connections which honor truth to power, and an inclusive rather than assimilated product line. The cooperative difference means earnest and sometimes uncomfortable work that allows us to achieve a zero-tolerance reality for hate, no matter the reason or season or ism. This expansion is, at least in part, about moving this vision and agenda forward, growing forward. The expansion is about so much more than bricks and mortar. It's about 43 more jobs, aisles that work for all of us who shop here, period. This expansion will tell the story of how we support each other amid common causes, democracy and economic equity that permits the pursuit of happiness, no matter who, what, or why. Our expansion makes us all narrators of our cooperative story, where we lead for change, create better opportunities for all members, and reach back to pull others forward. Our narration of this story begins with voting yes to give council the authority to enter into a lease for a new location. I hope we continue the narration by encouraging members to come forward to apply to serve on council and council committees. We want you to join us in making the vision a reality. You can also ask about other ways in which you might serve and contribute. Voting yes for our expansion makes real every single reason I joined back in 1987. It gives energy and purpose to the vision of a co-op that welcomes everyone and works to make that welcome real and consistently true. Please vote yes for our expansion. You're gonna love growing forward. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a fantastic meeting and a great weekend. Good night.